My name is Ken Cormier. I'm the 2013 Writer-in-Residence at the West Hartford Public Library. I am a poet, I'm a fiction writer, and I do performance poetry. I also make radio documentaries. One of my big influences comes from being a rudimental snare drummer in a fife and drum corps here in Connecticut. I was in the Colonel John Chester Fife and Drum Corps in Wethersfield, Connecticut. And what you learn when you do that is you learn very intricate rhythmic structures. You play very complex drumming parts. And as I grew up, what I found was I just had these rhythms constantly in my head. Whenever I sit down to write, I just think of those rhythmic structures. For instance, I have one piece that starts something like this. Naked as a dog as I dance here, arms in an arc and a footstep, pivot on a bald head, cough and a choke on a gin and a hot dog. And so this is a jig that I wrote, that is kind of stream of consciousness. But literally that rises from me walking around with certain rhythmic structures in my head. In this case, for example, thinking. And what I do is I start to plug language into that rhythmic structure. It's a kind of automatic writing, but with a limit, a musical limit, which is the rhythm. And what you find, I think, as a poet is that if you trust your own sort of, stream of thought and plug things into rhythmic structures, you end up capturing something like a mood or an effect that you weren't even necessarily thinking consciously about when you started. So when I teach writing, I like to get people to focus on the musicality of language, the sound of language, as much as we focus on the meaning that we make with language.